This is not the worst WrestleMania we've seen, but I would say in some ways it's one of the worst WrestleManias we've seen.
So many false ends.
Too many false ends.
It's like a Beatles album.
Too much. It's like Christmas dinner and then you've just finished a Christmas pudding and Mum goes, here's the pork joint. And you're like, oh, Mum, have you gone fucking mad? And it's like, well, there's the pork joint and you've just had that. And then Mum goes, oh, and do you know what else I've got? I've got some delicious roulade. You're like, Mum, stop it. Oh, smoked salmon. Jesus Christ. This is, I felt like I not only hit a wall, I felt like this was just like a wall being pushed on top of me.
It is 5 hours, 7 minutes, I think it was.
Oh, Pete, I watched the pre-show as well.
And 3 matches weren't even in the pay-per-view.
No, it was 7 hours and 2 minutes long.
What?
You can see really as well, and this isn't just us going, oh, this is, we had to watch it and there's a lot of work. You can see within this show that the crowd are entirely dead by the time you get to the last 2 matches. They have just been there much, much too long. Let's set it up. It's the 2nd of April 2017 in Orlando, Florida. It was in the famed Citrus Bowl. They keep on talking about the Citrus Bowl. It had actually been renamed a year before, and it was now called the Camping World Stadium. But Vince McMahon told the commentators, do not refer to it by its actual name. It's awful.
Yeah, unless they pay for it.
We will call it the Citrus Bowl. I mean, that is the point. The Camping World Stadium, they have paid for it.
Yes.
And that's its name. And the reason they've done that is so that people on television go, we are in the Camping World Stadium.
Exactly,
and so you can't just go, well, I choose not to call it that. Because you're sort of like, but that's why they've paid the money.
Yeah.
So the people who work at the Camping World Stadium must have been like, why are you calling it the Citrus Bowl? This is basically, there is going to be contractual paperwork that says you need to call it by its name.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting, isn't it?
We don't call you the WWF so that the World Wildlife Fund then come in and start going, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's a third party. And you're like, well, it's on telly. I've really felt for the people at the Camping World Stadium.
Yeah.
So I've been saying it a lot on this show. It is a fucking terrible name.
I think naming all of the venues in London the O2, like different O2 Shepherd's Bush Academy, it's just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
guys.
the Kentish Town O2 Forum, which is the Kentish Town
Forum. Like, it's just the Kentish Town Forum.
That is also a mad thing to do, that you go, we're going to brand it, and I know there's probably, 50 venues, but we're all going to give them the same name. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's just confusing.
That's mad.
Hello, I'm from Poland. I want to watch my favourite band, the Bare Naked Ladies, at the O2.
Right.
They're not playing the O2. It's a tennis on.
I need to go to O2. What I'm going to do, son, I'm not going to find out what bands are on where, but I will tell you the nearest O2 to here. Is that all right? I don't know. It's a really strange one.
Yeah.
They called this WrestleMania the ultimate thrill ride, and that was largely because they built a roller coaster in the set.
Oh, because I thought that, because they keep on going members of the crowd who have got their own rides.
Yeah, that's right. They talk to, I'm always going to call him Jimmy Kimmel, and he's not.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon,
yeah.
He's done well, hasn't he? I mean, he's gone a long way on what he's got, hasn't he?
He is the most unlikable, unfunny one, but he seems to be one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, he turns up and he's got a ride at Universal, which is called something like A Journey Through New York City with Jimmy Fallon. And, how the fuck does this cunt get a ride? I'm genuinely amazed.
I'd rather get the naked cowboy before him.
I don't think there is a WWE roller coaster.
Are you sure?
I think it's just they were like, it's Florida and it's theme parks.
Okay.
And so,
well, I clearly watched that and went, oh, they've done a ride.
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Because it's a lot of advertising for something that then doesn't exist. I think what it is as well, slightly, is you've got the idea of the Disneyfication of WWE.
Right.
And I don't mean that as in, they're making it.
Disney would never buy
There
that.
were big talks that Disney last year were going to be buying WWE because the Disney Plus was not performing that well.
Right.
And this was prior to things like The Mandalorian coming out.
Yeah.
But there was big talks that the Disney Plus were going to make a big bid for WWE, and that Vince McMahon was at a point where he was saying, do you know what, for the right price, WWE is on sale for the first time. I think what they really want to get across is they go, we are part of the entertainment world. So you come to Florida, you go to your Disneyland, you go to your Universal Studios, and you catch a WWE show. And they had that thing of going, we are America's entertainment.
Yeah.
And that really, really comes across in it. There's some interesting sort of little milestones about this one. It just sort of gives you some indication of how long WrestleMania has now been running. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt is the 350th WrestleMania match to take place.
Oh, nice.
And Alexa Bliss when she comes out for her title defense, she is the 450th person to take part in WrestleMania.
Right, okay.
It's an amazing amount of people, isn't it? Shocking. We are looking at the first WrestleMania, Pete, to not feature Kane since his debut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's gone away. It's also the first WrestleMania not to feature Howard Finkel, who was the voice of WrestleMania. Absolutely no reason why they dropped him.
Right.
Worth saying. He was devastated by it. Absolutely devastated.
Oh, no.
He was up until this point. He'd been on every single WrestleMania. He was the only person who had that distinction.
Was Kane full-time?
Kane, I think his
boy.
Yeah, I think he was. He was certainly going on hiatus, and I think the politics was becoming a bigger part of his life. The little group of people commentating includes obviously JBL. You've got Byron Saxton.
Yes.
You don't have Mauro Ranallo, who was the voice of NXT and SmackDown, and he was very popular at this point. You know, a really good, exciting play-by-play announcer. Used to shout "Mamma Mia," which people found irritating quite quickly. But he wasn't at WrestleMania because he was in part the victim of workplace bullying by JBL. He talks about it very openly. It really affected his mental health.
Such a fucking problem, JBL.
Yes, he really is. But JBL was awarded the prime commentary position as a result of that. If you don't punish people for the things they do wrong, how are they going to learn? It's not JBL's fault that he is on WrestleMania. It's his fault he's a bully.
Yeah.
But it's not his fault that the bully is on WrestleMania. That lies with everybody who allowed him to stay.
Rewarded him.
Yes.
You've never treated me with anything but respect. You've always been so nice to me. And there was always a disconnect.
Yeah, you know, I was a loud guy from the South, and a lot of people, I think, took that wrong. I can tell you, you know, like with Morrow, there was never any malicious intent, ever.
They push the whole idea that this WrestleMania is an experience. It's not really quite so much in the early bits about the wrestling per se. It's all about that this will be a thrill ride and an experience, and you're sharing it with people all over the world. It's very much their attempt to just go, the thing we're slightly embarrassed about is what we do. We like the fact that we're on a lot of telly, and we like the fact that people buy tickets, but the core part of our business is one that brings us shame. Shame.
The WWE thrill ride kind of video that goes through, like you're going through different scenes from WrestleMania history, and there's a bit where Paulie Dangerously and Brock Lesnar are kind of, they almost look like they've been caught.
Oh yeah,
like because he looks like a big bit of chewing gum, and he sort of looks around and like they've been fucking or something, like they've been doing something. He's like, oh, sorry, hi.
If Lesnar does want to fuck you, I mean, he's going to fuck you. There is nothing you can do about that. I really like that opening. I thought it was really exciting. It starts with John Cena at the top, and of course John Cena is there to essentially welcome you to a ride. He can't be part of the ride and go, this is exciting. He has to stand at the top and sort of go, it's going to be one heck of a ride, and then he salutes you because he's in the military.
Because he's in the military, not really.
Out come the New Day. They're the hosts of this year's WrestleMania. Someone's been in Mummy's wardrobe and they have just dressed up with no rhyme or reason.
Well, it's all due to Final Fantasy, of course, isn't
Video game.
Big Final Fantasy 14, I think, was the sponsor, I want to say, because I think I did an IGN release of the next one, I think.
Yeah.
So the way that Michael Cole delivers, I think there's a Moogle out there, or a chocobo.
Yeah.
Those tortured pronunciations.
Yes.
Unsure at first, going for it, reminds me of doing that same job when I'm not really sure what anything is.
Here come the New Day. Please say the following line. It really has that.
Yeah. Mania and your official hosts of WrestleMania, the New Day. Well, it looks like their gear this year is inspired by Final Fantasy. I swear, guys, I even saw Moogle and Chocobo out there.
Well, obviously, when you're watching WWE on the network, you keep getting hit by adverts nowadays for the Superstar Gaming series, which obviously replaced all of their disparate personal Twitch things. And of course, Miz is front and centre.
Oh,
Miz is selling the whole thing. Miz is always in the middle of the most dull corporate kind of parts of the operation, bless him.
Playing the first video game he's played since 1987.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm doing nothing, by the way.
Who's coming out of the ring to fight me?
I don't know how to get up. I don't have an A button.
You hit the X button then, Mike.
As much as I love the New Day, they come out and it's a long entrance, and there's a bit where the crowd begin chanting, and he goes, "Oh," I put the mic down, and I just thought to myself, "This is not going to be a quick watch. This is not a quick watch." I started watching this. I put it on at 10:30 in the morning, and yes, there were moments where I went, "I'm going to pause this and I'm going to make a cup of tea."
Yeah.
But somehow it didn't stop until midnight. And the worst part of it, the entrances. There's such a long ramp in this one.
Yeah.
That every entrance takes between 5 and 8 minutes.
And some people don't get their entrance, like big entrance kind of like thing
No,
that happened.
they're
really,
just
yeah.
walking. I can walk, right? I don't need to sit. I don't need to pay $9.99 a month to see a man walk. Just get him in the ring. Get him to do his job. This is a bit like going, I need to bill for travel if I come to work, right? No, you don't. No, you don't. Your work starts when you're in the building.
Yeah.
Your work starts when you're in the ring. If you've not got a special entrance, please get there quicker.
I missed out on Bring Back Turrican. With the video game Turrican, and I was like, they did bring back Turrican.
Watching that
coming out on the Switch.
Whoa! Chaz, cool, man. What are you doing?
I think I'm playing Final Fantasy X too, baby. This is awesome. Look at that. There's Yuna. Yeah. Yuna, that's the girl, man. Yuna. You gotta get down Final Fantasy, bro.
This thing is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it's great. So look at this.
Well, nonetheless, Final Fantasy. It could be Chris Benoit's fantasy here tonight.